Hi guys, my name's Caitlin. I am from grassfedgirl.com and I'm so excited you're here with me today. We're going to be talking about how to balance your hormones. So I'm going to give you 8 or 9 ways that you can balance your hormones using a carnivore diet, and it's going to be fun. So if that sounds interesting, please subscribe, share, like. It really helps me out. I spend a lot of time on these videos and I really want more people to find them because I think we can make a big change in the health of so many people if more people know about the carnivore diet. So let's get right into it. So if you're not familiar with my story, I have been a lifelong chronic dieter, and then in 2009 I was a vegetarian and I got super sick with hashimotos, which is a thyroid imbalance, which is one of your big hormone imbalances. So your thyroid runs your whole body. So I know all about balancing my hormones. I have done so much work on balancing my hormones, and I'm actually coming to you now 34 weeks pregnant. So I think being pregnant is the ultimate sign of balanced hormones. So I have a lot of experience in this area, and stay tuned. We will go over all of it right now. So sometimes people think that to balance your hormones, especially in the paleo keto space, even AIP, people think that you need to have carbs to balance your hormones. And in my experience, that has not been true. There may be a small amount of people who respond to that, but I think for the most part, it's from the other side of the coin where people are having blood sugar imbalances, too many carbs. You know, the standard American diet makes about 50% of the population either pre-diabetic or diabetic. And so from that perspective, which I think is most people coming into these kinds of diets, it's definitely not that we need more carbs. I think we need less carbs. So that's where I'm coming from. You know, if you have already tried a very low carb diet and it didn't work for you, then we will discuss some other things that may be a factor there in balancing your hormones. But for the most part, I think you need to reduce carbs to a very low level and balance blood sugar. So I use my Keto Mojo. This is a great tool for figuring out your blood sugar. You can also get a continuous glucose monitor. Those are a little more expensive, but this is super easy. And I've just finished my testing for my pregnancy. So I had to do this 4 times a day. And I really got some interesting results from that check-in and finding out more about which foods were affecting my blood sugar. And I did see whenever I would eat, like if I did eat like an artificial sweetener, something like that, definitely got a blood sugar spike from that. So really you need to get to know yourself and see how you are in the morning. In the morning you want to be like between about 70 and 90. It just depends on the person, but somewhere around there. You do not want to be creeping up towards the 100s. That is going to signal health problems in the future. So you want to be maybe 75 to 85, 90, somewhere in there when you wake up. And then, you know, the great thing about the carnivore diet is it keeps you on an even keel all day. Even if you are eating meals or not, your blood sugar is not going to, it probably will not go over 100. And that's what I found with myself. So you want to keep it in that narrow range, and that is going to help your body feel safe and calm, and you are going to balance those hormones because, you know, insulin is one of your biggest hormones that signals so many processes in your body, and if it's all over the place, it's going to create a lot of stress reactions, and it's going to be a big driver of imbalanced hormones. Okay, the next big thing I see people doing in low carb diets especially is fasting. So when you come on carnivore, I really want you to let go of the fasting. You're really not going to do yourself any favors. And, you know, men have been more studied as far as fasting goes. Women are more complicated. We have cycles, we have pregnancy, we have menopause, we have all these things. So they study men more often in general for all health conditions than women. So we don't really know. It's kind of an N=1 experiment with fasting. And I know some of you guys love fasting and everything, but there's a difference between somebody who's just starting carnivore and somebody who's been on a long time and who's doing fasting. So if you're trying to come into carnivore to balance your hormones, definitely don't fast. And along those same lines, don't restrict fat and don't restrict protein. Don't count, don't track. Just eat a lot of fatty meat and you will be on the right track. You can always change it up later. You can always introduce fasting later when you've adjusted, but definitely do not start into this with fasting. It's already a huge change for your body. It's a huge change for everything in your life. So do not introduce fasting at the same time. Just get used to the diet, get used to what you're eating, and then later on, if you feel strong and healthy and you have energy, then maybe you can introduce some fasting, or it will just happen naturally without you trying to do it. That's usually the best way, is it just kind of happens because you're just not hungry and you just feel full and you just feel satisfied. So don't get into the fasting too soon because it can be a big hormone disruptor and many people will lose their cycles from fasting too much and too long. And along those same lines, tracking and macros, tracking fat grams, tracking calories, all of those things. I have other videos about should you count calories on carnivore. Those were all, I think, add more stress to your life. And the more stress you have, the more likely you are to have imbalanced hormones. So let go of the counting, let go of the macros, let go of the calculators, the apps. Just let go of that for a while. It's okay. You probably won't gain weight. I have Hashimoto's, very slow metabolism, and I lost 20 pounds the first several months of the carnivore diet. So just try to relax and don't worry about it. Your body's going to be healing itself, and if you gain a few pounds, it will come off later, but I doubt you will. So this diet is very, very healing, and usually when you're healing, your body can start to release extra weight. Extra weight is a sign that your body is protecting itself from something. So that's what it's doing. It's holding on to weight because it's scared of you. It's scared of what you're going to do to it. So you just relax and not make it so nervous with restricting and counting and writing down everything. Then it will relax and release the extra weight when it's ready. So just give it some time and don't stress out about it. Okay, another big thing is over-exercise. I see this in a lot of young people, in women, because we're so obsessed with losing weight that we over-exercise. And, you know, when you exercise too much, it sends another signal of kind of a starvation response, a fight or flight, we're getting attacked by a bear, a tiger syndrome. So when you exercise so much, your body's not getting enough time to recover, and it's just sending that fight or flight signal that it's going to make you hold on to fat, because you're saying to your body, there's a famine coming, and we don't want to be caught off guard. So another big thing to watch out for is toxic personal care and home cleaning products. So there hasn't been a law made about these kinds of products since the 20s or the 30s, so a long time ago. And the government really isn't monitoring these things, and corporations have pretty much free reign, and they use proprietary processes, and they can say whatever they want on the label because they can say it's a company secret. So you have to be careful of this. And what happens with these kinds of products, which is basically everything, is it causes estrogen dominance. And when you have estrogen dominance, that means that your body is storing fat at an excessive rate, and you do not want that. So you really want to detox your home and personal care products and get more simple with them. Personal care, I sell Young Living. You can get that down in the description box. And I have a lot of videos about essential oils, how you can replace products around the house with essential oils. And those are much more friendly to your body and to your endocrine system. And then you can also use cleaning products that are more natural and plant-based. The only time I like plant-based. And then, you know, there's a lot of simple things you can use, like baking soda, vinegar, all that kind of stuff. And that will help your body to balance itself out and not be estrogen dominant, so that you're not storing so much fat. And, you know, if you are estrogen dominant, that means you're going to be more on the side of having cysts and heavy periods and, you know, unnatural hair growth and just all of those kind of bad PMS-y type symptoms. So you want to really look at that as a part of your healing program. And, you know, eating meat and eating protein and animal fat will all help with that. But if you're just constantly putting that stuff on your body every day, then you're just kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So work on detoxing. And like I said, I sell Young Living down in the description box at grassfedoils.com. Or I will make more videos. If you're interested in that topic, I can make more videos about how to have non-toxic cleaning products and personal care products. So let me know. So I mentioned stress. One of the best books I've read about stress is called 21st Century Syndrome. I don't know if I have the book anymore, but it is called 21st Century Syndrome, Adrenal Fatigue. I think that's the name of it. It is an amazing book. It's not just about adrenal fatigue. It's more about your sleep, of course, is a big thing. I know when I had my health breakdown back in 2009 or 10, I just was totally underestimating the amount of sleep that I needed. And I actually had to quit my job and I had to start sleeping in for my healing to begin. So that just shows you how important sleep is. I mean, in addition to taking thyroid hormone. So it is just so crucial to sleep. And then the other things in the book are, the guy's a chiropractor and he talks a lot about your relationships. If you have a relationship where you're feeling kind of disrespected, mistreated, that is a huge stressor. So that is something you have to kind of have a come to Jesus moment about. It can be really hard to change your relationships and stand up for yourself and that kind of thing. And then, like I said about the job, that's a big thing. You might hate your job. Every day you're dreading it. I know at one point in my life I had a job where I would literally get sick to my stomach when I would be driving to work. And, you know, that was a signal that really my body was messed up and it was telling me, like, this is not cool. You're getting sicker and sicker by forcing yourself to do this job that you don't like. And that resolved itself pretty much. And I changed my profession, changed my career to be more in the health space, and that's helped so much because I'm more in alignment with my body, and I have a mission that makes me feel, so much more fulfilled than what I was doing at that place. And I was also doing, sitting in a cubicle, that kind of thing. So you have to look at what you're doing in your life, and if you're not fulfilled with that, that can be a huge problem with your hormones. So another thing is elimination. So if you're not eliminating, and that was my why for starting the carnivore diet, was I had severe chronic constipation. And so it's not that fun to talk about it, but I just want to help other people who have digestive problems, because most people do. If they're having health issues, they have digestive problems. That's a big part of it. And so what I did was doing the carnivore diet, taking all the fiber out. It changed my life. And I started going to the bathroom without having to take any supplements, and I stopped having to stress about it and think about it all the time, and stopped having all the bloating and gas. And so if you're not eliminating properly, you need to not be going too much, and you need to not be going too slowly. So you need to make sure that it's not running through you, which means you're not absorbing. And the same thing if you're not going often enough, a couple, 3 or 4 times a week at least, then you're going to be reabsorbing those toxins, and that's going to be messing up your hormones. So a big thing with getting your elimination correct can be electrolytes. So my thing was I needed my electrolytes in balance in order to start going to the bathroom on a regular basis. So once I pulled the fiber out, all the vegetables out, that helped. But then I needed to keep going because I needed to have that electrolyte balance. And once I got my electrolytes balance, meaning my salt, magnesium, that's your sodium, your potassium, your magnesium. Once I got those balanced, I started going to the bathroom without thinking about it. So that can be a big issue, is electrolyte balance with your proper elimination. And now if you're on the other side of too fast, you may be having too much melted fat. Be careful of that when you're adjusting to the carnivore diet. Also, you might need ox bile enzyme, a digestive enzyme that breaks down fats, just to help you through that period. But it will stop if you just give it about a month or so, and you will start absorbing more of your food. And after about a month or so, if it doesn't stop as far as going too much, then you can adjust things again. But yeah, avoid too much liquid melted fat at the beginning of your carnivore journey, and that should help. And you can also do enzymes, digestive enzymes. I have some down in my Amazon shop that I like. Or you can, if you're going too slowly, you want to adjust those electrolytes. So I hope that's helpful. So kind of in summing up, when we want to balance our hormones, we want to send that signal to our body that we're safe, we have plenty to eat, we have plenty to sleep, we don't have lions and tigers and bears coming after us, we are relaxed, we are not beating ourselves up with exercise, we are in a safe relationship, we have love around us. These are all the signals we have to send that we are okay to be balanced in our hormones. So the other thing is blood sugar balance. That's what the carnivore diet provides by eating almost all animal foods, 100% animal foods. That is what it's going to do for you, is balance your hormones. So all these things are so important. Cleaning up your personal care. You can do all of these things, and if you're consistent over 6 months or a year, I'm sure you will see big changes in your hormones for the better. And come back and tell me. Leave a comment down below if there's something I forgot about how to balance your hormones. And if you're wondering about how to do the carnivore diet, I will put my link up for the ebook that I wrote. It is a 30-day carnivore challenge. It's 182 pages, all about how to do the carnivore diet in a simple way. And it is a great way to balance your hormones. And we talk a lot about these things in the book, all about personal care and sleep and all these things you need to do to balance your hormones. So I hope this has been helpful, and we will see you next time. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks so much. And everything I talked about is down in the description box below. Thank you again. Bye-bye.